Hi, I'm Angie and welcome. Thanks for joining me. We're going to be painting the painting Lift Your Hopes High. It's an easy kite silhouette, and this will be part one. Right here I have my canvas covered with yellow ochre, and now I'm going to be adding some blends. Most of the painting is the sky. The horizon is toward the bottom of the painting, the bottom quarter to a third. So I put some paints out, yellow ochre, cadmium yellow, titanium white. I have purple on there that I'm going to be adding later, and burnt umber. Right now, I'm going to add a mixture of yellow ochre and burnt umber, and that's going to be on the outer edges of the painting. And then as we get toward the middle of the painting, it's going to be more of a yellow color. So we're going to blend it out so that it's not such a big contrast. And so most of the colors are going to be muted. Right here I'm adding the yellow ochre with a little of the burnt umber in it. And I'm going to be painting from the outside edges going in. For those of you who don't know me, I have a Facebook group, Painting with Fibromyalgia, and I have that name across most of the platforms, Painting with Fibromyalgia, because most of the people who have joined me in painting know that I have had fibromyalgia for a long time and love art, and have figured out a few ways of making painting more enjoyable despite chronic pain. You don't have to have fibromyalgia to join the Facebook group, but you do have to have chronic pain of any kind to join that group. For this channel, YouTube, you don't have to have pain at all. You could just join me in painting. I paint in sort of a loose, free style, not so tense to increase the pain, but more relaxed. And some of my paintings are a little bit more realistic than others, but I try to keep it loose and keep my shoulders and my joints and everything loose while I paint. Try not to stiffen up. Also, I encourage you to do the same, and also to take breaks. I don't use a blow dryer in my paintings. There might be an old one that has a blow dryer in it, but for the most part, I let the painting dry, air dry. And it's that time where you could sneak out and get something to drink or do what you have to do. So I find that most people enjoy that aspect and that way of painting, especially those who have chronic pain. Another thing is that we chat together. Many or most of our paintings are live. This one started out live, but I ended up editing it to shorten it. It went way too long than I like people to paint at one time. So I shortened it and decided to do this voiceover. But when we get together live, which is just about every Saturday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, we chat and have a great time. I'm a little bit more involved with the painting and asking questions and saying hello, but everybody is chatting about just about everything, the most encouraging group you ever want to join in on a chat with. Many of these people share a lot of the same challenges. And so everybody tries to be very upbeat and very encouraging. This is a bit of an escape from how we tend to feel if we're not distracted by something that's fun and relaxing. Also, this is the kind of painting that if you decide to paint along, I suggest you play some music and make yourself very comfortable. Music is very helpful. It makes things so much nicer because it puts you in that mood. So I suggest that too. And I think you'll enjoy it a lot better. I'm adding music here because most of what I'm doing is about the same. I do add some cad yellow as I get toward the center of the painting, and I try to blend it out. Don't go back and forth over the same areas. I did do that a little bit at some point, but try not to do that, because if you do that too quickly and your paint is neither wet nor dry, you can lift your what you have down on the canvas. You could lift that color back off. So try not to do that. If it starts to dry, or if enough time has passed, then it's better to just let it dry and go to a different area on the canvas. I hope all who have joined me in this painting right now are feeling their optimum for them. I hope you are enjoying this, and I really hope you try it. Try to watch it through to the end and pick up on any tips that you might hear. And then when you want to paint the whole thing, you can go back and start at the beginning, and you'll have an idea of where you're going with this. This part here is background, 99% background. The top part of the painting, I decided to go ahead and put some movement in there. I love to put movement in a painting by the direction of my brush strokes, and I like to add a little bit more color than what you see in the thumbnail, what you see as the reference painting. I'll be adding some purple and working that in. I'll also be adding some orange, and it gives the painting a lot more interest. The bottom part of the painting is going to be more of a muted purple, and then in part 2 we'll do some tweaks, and then we will add the silhouette. So this is going to be very fun. There might be a little bit of back and forth going back into the painting after it's dried and adding more of the cadmium yellow toward the center of the painting. I start getting pretty close with the darker color, so there's a little bit of back and forth in this painting, but it's very relaxing and very fun. I really think it's also good exercise because I don't get tired while I'm painting. I get tired with a lot of activities, but not with painting. So I think you might enjoy this one. There are a lot of people who have added painting back to their lives, that have left painting for a little while. I feel so elated when I hear that someone has been inspired to pick up their brushes again and start painting. We also have people that are very beginners, some of whom never painted before joining me. So I am very happy that they're able to understand enough and follow along to actually complete a painting for the first time, and one that they're very happy with. So if you're painting for the first time, you could stick around and you'll be able to keep up with me, I think. If you have painted for a while, and even if you consider yourself a professional, you also, I think, will enjoy painting with me. If you're in the group, upload your paintings. We love that. They don't have to be paintings from painting with fibromyalgia. You could also upload paintings from other tutorials. Many of us follow the same people. We follow Cinnamon Cooney and see what she's doing, and Clive. I followed him a long time ago. I've known Clive for a long time. Angela Anderson is another one we know. Stephanie Bergeron. There are a lot of people that we all tend to, because if we first started on YouTube and put in the search painting with acrylics, that's how we find the same people. And then there's a lot of other people, all different size channels that paint and use acrylic painting. So if you have paintings from any of them, just feel free to upload them, especially if there's something that you just got done and you feel happy about. We're a very kind group, never negative, never discouraging. All we want to do is encourage people to keep painting, because painting is so therapeutic for people that have chronic pain. So I want to just make that very clear, that that's my main goal here, is to encourage painting if you have chronic pain. If you don't have chronic pain, enjoy. Paint along, enjoy. We're glad to have you. So this is after a lot of blending. So I took some of it out of this video. But as you can see, the yellow has been brought back into the center. And soon we will be starting on the bottom part of the painting. I'm adding some purples here, muted with burnt umber. So that's basically the background before I started adding layers, is cadmium yellow and yellow ochre, burnt umber. That's the beginning. And then I start adding some purples, also muted down with burnt umber and a little titanium white, because I want it to be a very soft background. And then we add a little bit of more spice into the sky, more wind into the sky as we keep the painting going. Also, I have cadmium light mixed with yellow, with cadmium yellow, cadmium red light mixed with cadmium yellow, and gives it an orange color. And I put some of that into the sky too, just to add a little bit more interest. After I'm done painting the sky and the foreground, I go back into the sky, and where I have the purple, if it's standing out too much, I just go over it with the very light strokes of yellow ochre, and that softens it and blends it into the rest. There is a low setting sun there in this picture, and I add that toward the right. That is basically white, maybe softened up a little bit, basically white. And then there is a ridge of clouds, very soft clouds that go along the horizon. So that's kind of in little thin layers. And I'll be adding to that in the second part, part 2. So this is part 1, and then stay tuned for part 2. I didn't do part 2 yet. If you're watching this in March of 2018, on March 5th, I didn't do part 2 yet because we are going to go live this Saturday. So part 2 will also be done live this Saturday, the week of March 5th. and we're going to be doing that together. So I'm really excited. I'm very excited. Always look forward to our lives because you guys make me laugh, and I love to laugh. Laughter is also good medicine, so that's why I look forward to it the most. A lot of energy from Alive. So here I'm adding some orange, and it's really going to spice it up a little bit. I'm looking to see if it's dry enough now to add some more blends on top. And then this is going to be another orange back to the cad yellow, back to the orange, back to the cad yellow, so that the majority of the center of the painting is more on the yellow side. If you have any questions, put them in the bottom. I love feedback. Give me some feedback. If you join the group, introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself. Painting with Fibromyalgia on Facebook is a closed group. We have 3 questions that you have to answer, and they're basically if you paint, if you like art, and if you have chronic pain, and if you are going to cooperate with the guidelines, and if to let you know if you'd like, you could upload paintings. So that's basically what the questions for asking to come into the group are about. Don't forget to hit the like, the thumbs up, and the subscribe, and watch a whole video. Even if it's not this one, watch a whole video, because that's how you support the channels on YouTube. Mine is a small channel. It's slowly growing, but it's a little slower because it's a little more specific, has a little more specific of a purpose than most art channels. So if you hit the thumbs up and subscribe and leave a comment and watch an entire video, you are letting YouTube know that you like the channel and that you like art on YouTube and you want to see more. Most of us who have smaller channels are not quite sure what YouTube's plans are for the future. They have raised the bar as far as monetizing or adding commercials to the channels. So therefore, what we do before we reach those milestones is completely voluntary and not paid. So to be monetized means that we get a little bit of support from the advertisers. So watching a complete video helps add that view, that watch time, and that's one of the things they're looking for. So just to fill you in on what people are talking about when they talk about supporting the channels and supporting art on YouTube, that's just a little bit of the inside scoop to give you an idea of what's going on. Small channels are a little bit on shaky ground right now. So if you like this and you like following me, just do those things for me, and that would help me out a lot because it doesn't cost you anything. That's the best part. I'm watching myself paint, and I'm telling you, I'm getting really relaxed. It's almost nap time now. So that's the purple. That's the side that I'm going to tone down a little bit afterwards. If you're here for the first time, let me know, please, in the comments below. I love to know that kind of stuff. If you're feeling inspired to paint, let me know in the comments below. A lot of back and forth blending with the yellow, bringing the yellow back into the sky. Now this is where I'm going to be putting the sun. And then later I'm going to round that sun up a little bit more. I'm using titanium white. I still have a little color in my brush. Later I'm going to whiten that sun up some with more titanium white. Now I'm starting to put the layers of clouds in. And that's titanium white. As I put these layers of clouds in, I add just a touch of purple, just a touch of the other colors to keep the painting unified in a sense. And I'm going to play with that some more after when we go to part 2. This is just where I stop and catch up on the chat, see what I'm missing, because the party's still going on while I'm painting. I put some more purple into the mix, muted, very muted, with some yellow ochre and some titanium white. And this is where I'm going to paint the lower part of the painting. This is the section where the silhouette is going to be placed. Freshening up my paint a little bit, because this is going to take a little more than what I needed at the top. Adding some more burnt umber to the palette. Now, one of the tips that I hope you get, I hope you're following along far enough, is that especially at the beginning of the painting, I add Airbrush Medium. I put Airbrush Medium on the canvas before I add any paint to the canvas. It just makes it a little bit more smooth, hold it open just a little bit, and it's better to use than water, than straight water. Okay, it has the polymers. It's all polymers really. It just doesn't have any pigment added to it, and it's more predictable that it's going to be stable as opposed to water. Water can cause paint to peel. So now here I am adding the Dioxazine purple mixed with a little burnt umber and some titanium white. So I cover the bottom part of the canvas with that. And then after that dries, I'm going to be adding some more clouds in and softening up that line between the clouds and that purple section. I would say, now people want to know about the skill levels of the paintings, and I'm going to start putting those in the description. I thought this was going to be such an easy painting until I realized how much blending was involved. So I'm taking it up from I'll call them spoons, how many spoons you need. 1 spoon is being the easiest, and 3 spoons as being the hardest. I don't think we're going to be doing 4 spoons together unless we really break it up, and I'll let you know. I say this has gone from a 1 to 2 spoon to a 2 to 3 spoon, just because of the blending. So if you haven't been painting long, hey, this is a good time to start learning how to blend, is right from when you start painting. Challenging, however. The challenging part is when to stop blending. That's the challenging part. And how to not overwork it. And that comes with doing. You can't really learn how to paint from watching only. So I'm pointing out how the painting is starting to come together. Your eyes are drawn toward things that are the same, things that are different. Adding a little more of my titanium white for my purple. And I'll be dipping into my burnt umber and finishing that last corner. We're just about finished. I have a lot of videos on here. When you get finished with this part 1, do part 2, and also check out what else we have, because there's a big variety of different kinds of paintings. I tend to, I like variety, different colors, different subjects. So look around, see what you like. And then hit that little reminder bell so that when I come back to do a live, you'll know about it. You won't come on and say, oh no, I missed it, I was too late. So hit that reminder bell. Again, my name is Angie Green. It was very nice having you paint with me. And I'll see you when you come on my live. Say hello and say you found me.